Have you ever wondered what it takes to build not just one, but multiple world-changing companies? What kind of mindset turns a wild idea into a billion-dollar reality? Today, we're diving deep into the mind of one of the most audacious entrepreneurs of our time, Elon Musk. We're not just talking about his successes. We're breaking down his actual playbook, the principles and methods he uses to start companies like Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink. This isn't just a story. It's a blueprint for thinking bigger and building the future. Stick our own. Because by the end of this video, you'll have a new framework for tackling your own ambitious projects. So, where does it all begin? For Musk, it's not about finding a market gap or a quick way to make money. It starts with a problem, a big, fundamental problem facing humanity. For SpaceX, the problem was the long-term survival of our species. Musk realized that being a single-planet species is incredibly risky. An asteroid, a pandemic, a supervolcano, any number of things could wipe us out. T-solution, making humanity multiplanetary. For Tesla, the problem was our unsustainable reliance on fossil fuels, which is accelerating climate change and polluting our planet. The solution, accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. For the Boring Company, it's soul-crushing traffic. For Neuralink, it's the potential future limitations of the human brain compared to AI. Notice a pattern. He doesn't ask, "What's a cool business idea?" He asks, "What are the biggest threats and limitations for humanity? And how can I solve them?" This is the foundation of everything he builds. He starts with a mission, not a product. Once the problem is identified, Musk applies a powerful mental model he calls first principles thinking. Most people reason by analogy. We do things because that's how they've always been done. For example, when Musk looked at the cost of rockets, the aerospace industry said, "Rockets are expensive because they've always been expensive." That's reasoning by analogy. Musk rejected this. First principles thinking means you break a problem down to its most fundamental, undeniable truths, and build up your solution from there. So, for a rocket, he asked, what is a rocket actually made of? It's aerospace grade aluminum alloys, titanium, copper, and carbon fiber. Then he asked, what is the cost of those materials on the commodity market? He found that the raw material cost was only about 2% of the typical price of a rocket. This huge difference revealed the real problem wasn't the materials, but the inefficient manufacturing, design, and supply chain processes. By understanding this, SpaceX could focus on the real challenge, building rockets from the ground up in a radically cheaper way. This approach is his secret weapon. He doesn't just improve the existing wheel, he questions whether we need a wheel at all, and starts from the atoms up. So you have your mission and your first principles approach. What's next? You have to build an incredible team. Musk is famous for his demanding, almost obsessive, work culture. He has a simple hiring philosophy. Look for extraordinary ability. He doesn't care as much about degrees or prestigious backgrounds. He wants to know what you've actually built, what difficult problems you have solved. During interviews, he famously asks candidates to tell him about the most difficult problems they've worked on and how they solved them. He drills down into the details because the person who truly solved the problem knows every single aspect of it. He's looking for people who aren't just looking for a job, but are driven by the same mission as the company. He believes that a small group of highly talented and motivated people can outperform a large team of moderately talented ones. It's about talent density. Everyone must be exceptional and fully committed to the goal. Now let's talk about execution. Musk is a huge proponent of vertical integration. What does that mean? It means controlling as much of the production process as possible, from raw materials to the final product. While most car companies outsource the majority of their parts, Tesla builds a staggering amount. In-house their batteries, their software, their seats, their computer chips. Why? 3 main reasons. First, control over quality and innovation. If you rely on a supplier, you're limited by their pace of innovation. By doing it yourself, you can iterate and improve at lightning speed. Second, cost. By cutting out the middlemen and their profit margins, You can often produce things more cheaply, especially at scale. And third, speed. When a problem arises, you don't have to call a supplier in another country and wait. You can walk across the factory floor and solve it immediately. This desire to control the entire process is how SpaceX can build rockets, and Tesla can build cars faster and more efficiently than anyone thought possible. It's harder and more capital-intensive up front, but it gives them an incredible long-term advantage. But innovation isn't just about big ideas. It's about constant, relentless iteration. Musk's philosophy is often described as the algorithm. It's a 5-step process for engineering and manufacturing. Step 1. Make your requirements less dumb. Your requirements are a list of what the product needs to do. Musk says they are always, without a doubt, too dumb at the start. So question them. Challenge every single one. Who asked for it? How smart are they? Don't proceed until you know the requirement is legitimate. Step 2. Try very hard to delete the part or process. This is his favorite step. If you're not adding things back into the design at least 10% of the time, you're not deleting enough. The best part is no part. The best process is no process. It weighs nothing, costs nothing, and can't go wrong. Step 3. Simplify and optimize. This is the classic engineering step, but it only comes after you've deleted everything you possibly can. A common mistake is to simplify a part that shouldn't exist in the first place. Step 4. Accelerate cycle time. You've made it simple and efficient. Now how do you do it faster? But don't do this before the other steps, or you'll be accelerating a process that might be unnecessary. And finally, step 5. Automate. This is the last step. A huge mistake Musk admits to at Tesla was trying to automate everything too early. He tried to automate a flawed process. First, get the manual process right, then automate it. This 5-step algorithm is how Tesla and SpaceX are constantly improving their products and production lines at a pace that baffles their competitors. Of course, this journey is never a straight line. Musk's companies have been on the brink of failure multiple times. In 2008, SpaceX had failed its first 3 rocket launches, and Tesla was hemorrhaging cash during the financial crisis. He had to put his entire personal fortune on the line to keep them both alive. This highlights another key principle: an insane tolerance for risk, and an unwavering belief in the mission. When everyone else tells you it's impossible, when you're burning through cash, and when your rockets are literally exploding, you have to have a level of conviction that is almost irrational. This resilience is fueled by his long-term vision. He's not trying to hit a quarterly target. He's trying to change the course of humanity. This allows him to endure short-term pain and failure that would crush most other entrepreneurs. He sees failures not as defeats, but as data points. Each explosion, each production bottleneck, is a lesson that gets them one step closer to the goal. This fail fast, learn faster mentality is baked into the DNA of his companies. Another crucial element is creating a feedback loop. Musk is obsessed with feedback. He actively seeks out criticism. He famously said that you should have a well-honed bullshit detector. At Tesla, he encouraged engineers to speak directly to him, bypassing layers of management. He wants to hear the raw, unfiltered truth directly from the people on the factory floor, or the ones writing the code. He also uses the product himself. He drives a Tesla. He's involved in SpaceX's launches. This direct feedback loop is critical. It closes the gap between the decision makers and the reality of the product. Many CEOs and large corporations are insulated from their own products and customers. Musk does the opposite. He immerses himself in the details, in the problems, and in the feedback, allowing for rapid course correction. If something is wrong, he wants to know immediately, not in a report 3 months later. Let's bring it all together. What is the Musk method for creating a company? First, start with a grand humanity-level mission, not a business plan. Find a problem worth solving. Second, use first principles thinking to break down the problem to its fundamental truths and build your solution from there, ignoring how it's been done before. Third, assemble a small, elite team of passionate and talented individuals who are obsessed with the mission. Fourth, vertically integrate to control your destiny, speed, and innovation. Don't be at the mercy of suppliers. Fifth, apply the algorithm. Question requirements, delete parts, simplify, accelerate, And only then, automate, iterate relentlessly, and finally, embrace risk, learn from failure, and maintain an incredibly tight feedback loop. Be your own toughest critic. It's a formula that is incredibly demanding, capital-intensive, and stressful. It's not for everyone, but it's a formula that has undeniably changed the world and continues to shape our future. So, what can we learn from this? You don't have to be trying to colonize Mars to apply these principles. Think about a problem in your own life or your own field. Are you reasoning by analogy? Or can you break it down to its first principles? Are you trying to optimize a process that should be deleted entirely? Are you surrounding yourself with people who challenge you and share your passion? Musk's greatest lesson might be that the biggest limitations are often the ones we place on ourselves. By thinking from the ground up and having the audacity to tackle huge problems, we unlock a potential we never knew we had. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into Elon Musk's creative process. I hope it gave you some powerful new ideas to think about. What's the biggest takeaway for you? Is there a principle you're going to try and apply? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to read your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video and want more content that breaks down the strategies of the world's most innovative minds, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.